Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. Lifewave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each Lifewave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. Lifewave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. Lifewave. Live long. Live well.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is David Schmidt. I'm the CEO of Lifewave. Today, what we're going to be doing is giving you an inside look at the development of X39. We're going to go into some detail about one of the clinical studies that we've done. We've got over 80 clinical studies that we've done on our technology over the past 17 years since I started the company in 2002. We're also going to show you some before-after photos, some incredible wound healing effects that we've seen with X39. So we're going to take a much deeper dive into the technology that you don't get when you look at the website. And this is material that we present at our conferences, and we did this at the launch in January. Okay, so this is one of my inventions. It's called the double helix conductor, or DHC for short. And there's many different sizes that we've done, laboratory models, coils that you place in and around different body parts, and then whole body treatment. And what's novel about this is that it'll provide both an electromagnetic field and what's called the longitudinal field. And the goal of this is to enhance the activity of the stem cells in the body. Now, over the years, we've done standard laboratory in vitro work. We've had several different animal models that we've used, and of course, we've also done many studies with human beings. This one that I'm going to show you, because it's relevant to our conversation, is using a standard rabbit model. And basically what we do is inject a drug into the rabbits to give them diabetes. After they develop diabetes, they develop an ulceration, diabetic ulceration in the ears. You fold the ear over so they can't scratch at it. And then you do control group and treatment groups. And in this particular case, what we're able to do is treat them with the electromagnetic field therapy relative to the control, and then also assess what would happen if you applied stem cells directly to the ear. And this is what the ulcerations look like. And by the way, this is a very significant problem for human beings. There's over 400 million people globally that suffer with diabetes, and developing diabetic neuropathy from those high blood sugar levels leads to damage of the nerves, and then in late stage open wounds, which can create the need for amputation. And there's currently no treatment for diabetic neuropathy. So this is a very, very significant problem. And what we saw here is that applying an external electromagnetic field was able to accelerate wound healing. What we also found was that when mesenchymal stem cells, or MSCs, were applied to the injury, they healed at exactly the same rate. So this was the first time that we had laboratory evidence that you could activate the stem cells in the body, improve the function of the stem cells in the body without having to inject stem cells. And that became very, very important because it allowed us to look at things in a completely different way, in the sense that everyone in the industry is going in the direction of let's inject young stem cells to accelerate wound healing, right? Which sounds great. But there's a reason why stem cell therapy, with very, very limited exception, hasn't been approved in Europe, United States, or Japan, as some examples, because it doesn't work all the time. It's very expensive, and there's a significant risk associated with it. But here we were seeing you don't have to inject stem cells. There's a way to activate and improve the function of the stem cells in the body and do it externally with energy. And of course, this has huge advantage. If we're using the stem cells in the body, it makes it extremely safe, it makes it very effective, and of course, it's very inexpensive. So we went back to our lab and we applied this technique to the planaria, which again is a standard stem cell model. And what researchers are trying to accomplish is to get a modest improvement in the rate of regeneration. So if we could chop off the head of a planaria and regenerate it in 15 days, that would be a significant improvement. With this technology, we were able to do it the first time out in only 8 days. But as we continued to develop the technology, we were regenerating heads in 6 days, then in 4 days, then in 3 days, then in 2 days, then in 1 day, and in our best run, which was repeated, by the way, many times over a period of years, we were able to regenerate a head in only 16 and a half hours. And by the way, 3 weeks ago, we signed a contract with the #1 stem cell scientist in his field here in the U.S., who has a laboratory at a major university. And this technology is in that university now being tested. And we're going to be publishing our work in a very prominent science journal. In the final technology, which was patented, we were able to take one version of this technology and actually close wounds in less than 15 minutes. So this is actually faster than the biological limits for protein synthesis. In other words, a planaria can't produce proteins quickly enough to close injuries. We were able to exceed that biological limit. Someone's asking if we'll be able to share this PowerPoint. We don't share this PowerPoint. People can come to our conferences and hear it, but we don't want to overly complicate the business. And so we really don't want our members going out and teaching and showing this, because we feel it will take something that's simple and complicate it. Okay. So, of course, human beings are not flatworms. And the problem for humans is that as we age, the stem cells slow down. Stem cells age with the rest of the body. They don't move as quickly. They produce less growth factors. So what can we do? We'll just keep this moving. We've already kind of covered this, that stem cell therapy is expensive, it has a degree of risk, and it doesn't work all the time. So here's Lifewave's approach with the X39. What we want to do is make stem cell science affordable to everyone. It's very, very important that we make it safe, it's legal, and we're going to activate the stem cells that are already within your body. And that's how we're going to make it affordable and safe. And as you're going to see, it's extremely effective, and it has a huge number of benefits. As I said, we're going to talk about this term activate, because it really means two different things. First, when we activate stem cells, we increase their rate of proliferation, meaning when someone has an injury, you need to get stem cells to that injury site to heal the injury. So when we activate the stem cells in the body with X39, the stem cells can get to the injury. Another thing that happens is that when you apply X39 to the body, it elevates copper peptide. And copper peptide has been shown to convert the universal stem cells, to convert the stem cells that are in your skin over to universal stem cells or pluripotent stem cells. And research with copper peptide shows then that these additional stem cells go into your body and support the wound healing process wherever it may be. Now, when people apply X39, most people get an immediate effect. And we're going to see this in one of the clinical studies that I'm going to show you. So most people feel a difference their very first day. And you'll see within a week, we get most people responding with great results. Now, that said, we do want people to use X39 for a month. There are some people that don't respond for about 3 weeks. But the majority of people respond within about a week. So we just say, give it a month and you'll get great results. Now, in order to activate the stem cells, one of the things you need to do is increase the amount of energy that's being produced in the mitochondria. So overall energy that's produced in the cell goes up. What people experience is an improvement in well-being. They feel less tired and less fatigued. Also, very interesting, I'll show this to you in the clinical study that we did. And we have multiple clinical studies. I'm just going to show you one today in the interest of time. But the quality of sleep goes up. It turns out when you activate stem cells, it increases the levels of GABA in the brain. And GABA is a neurotransmitter that's responsible for inducing sleep. So as a matter of fact, when drug companies are looking at coming up with a drug to improve sleep, they want to activate GABA receptors. Now, one thing that X39 and copper peptide does really well is manage pain, and it does this through managing inflammation. Now, some people are going to have a mild increase in pain when applying X39, and that's important to understand because what's going on here is that in order to heal an injury, the body needs to first generate inflammation to tear down that old damaged tissue so it can make way for new healthy tissue. So if you get a mild increase in pain, it's okay. That's what it's supposed to be doing. If it's intolerable, simply remove the patch, or you can apply another one of our patches to help manage the pain. Now, one of the benefits of activating stem cells is that in order to heal an injury, you've got to increase production of collagen in the fibroblasts. And so one of the side benefits of X39 is that it's going to decrease the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Most people are going to see this effect show up over about a 4 to 12 week period of time. When people exercise, of course, the goal is we want to break down the muscle tissue to build it up and make it stronger. And this is one of the things we see with X39. As a matter of fact, at our launch event in Japan, where we had 600 people, we just had this event in July, actually, Mr. Akira Yegashi, who is a 3-time world champion in boxing, and he's the current champion in his weight class, gave a presentation and a testimonial on how X39 has had a phenomenal effect on his performance and his ability to recover after a fight. But of course, you don't have to be a world champion or professional athlete to appreciate this. Just anyone that wants to stay in shape and stay healthy is going to be able to see improved performance and recovery with X39. Now, some people see improvements in hair growth. Not everyone. There's a reason for this. We don't have time to get into it. But if you see that you got new hair coming in, you're not imagining it. And I'll even show you a testimonial that we got on this. Now, some of the most dramatic results that we get are in the area of scar reduction. And again, I'll show you some testimonials on that, as well as wound healing. Many leaders, as a matter of fact, that have come into the company have come in just based on wound healing. There's a question. Can you please send me some more info on the hair growth separately from this webinar? Okay, we can discuss that during the question and answer session if you like. And my favorite, quite honestly, is youth renewal. One of the effects of copper peptide is it will reset several thousand genes, about 4,000 genes in the cells, to a younger, healthier state. And in fact, Dr. Lauren Pickart, who was the discoverer of copper peptide, he eventually, after more than 40 years of research into copper peptide, came to the realization that the way copper peptide was working to do all these miraculous things was to reset the genes to a younger, healthier state. And that obviously has its own set of phenomenal benefits. So it's not quite the fountain of youth, but it takes a big step there. There's other benefits to X39, and I will say we don't make medical claims. We get a ton of testimonials having to do with medical claims. We don't share those, but I'm sure that you've all heard about them.